Hello and welcome to the Oireachtas in session today. I am currently sitting here waiting for the session to begin. I have started slightly early just to get this time beforehand. This is the first time RTE will be streaming the Taoiseach nominations, where we are seeing a Social Democrat Fine Gael government being formed, with their PFG being released earlier tonight. We have Labour Party being sat on the opposite bench here, the second largest party to come out of the election, that the results we saw on Sunday. We also have leader of the Green Party here, sitting with 2 seats, going down from the largest party to the smallest party. And we are finally not joined by Fianna Fáil, who are currently not present in their entirety. And I'm correct in saying, when on the Oireachtas sheets, they are the only party to have not filled all of their dual seats, with Labour, Social Democrats, Fine Gael and the Green Party having filled all of them. I believe the government is in almost full attendance tonight. They should have 15 for full attendance. And they have just had 13 there, so I believe only 2 more would need to join for full government attendance. Yeah, 13 people on the government benches there. So very good attendance from the government today. We also have Labour sitting with almost all of their people as well. I believe that is... that is 4 of their 6 seats turning up. So nearly a front row in the door. But yeah, even the Green Party was able to fill one of their seats. But Fianna Fáil currently sits with their 3 seats with no one to fill them. Just Jack Cosgrave as the leader, who isn't currently in attendance, and on the spreadsheet is marked not in the group. Anyway, it has reached 8 p.m, so I believe we will be starting the door any moment now, hopefully. The national anthem will be played any moment now. We have one member raising in anticipation. Yet nothing's happening yet. And now the national anthem is actually going to be played. Again, I will remind those who are just joining in, this is nominations for Taoiseach. And now the door is in session. Okay, so again, I will remind those, this is for Taoiseach nominations, where I believe by the end of tonight we will most likely see Oscar O'Sullivan become our Taoiseach, with Oswald, the leader of Fine Gael, becoming his deputy, his Taoiseach, which is the deputy prime minister of Ireland. Um, we're currently seeing Eamon take a look. Well, standing up here. I'm sure he's happy to be sitting back in the seat he did used to hold, but now he sits back as his first Oireachtas, being a full-time clerk. He will be serving as presiding officer, but there is an objection being raised already. Um, the member is arguing that there's no need for a presiding officer and that the Secretary General's job is to hold the election directly. We've already got some members of the government saying they're going to be here all night. Having some difficulties with tags here. I think the Secretary General has quoted that not enough TDs joining the group cause there to not be a CC being elected tonight, but I'm not entirely sure. Again, we are now just waiting for Eamon to actually begin talking. But yes, we will probably be starting. Okay, they are now asking whether it is agreed that Eamon presides over the CC election. Also, they are electing the CC. I believe the Secretary General left it up to Eamon so he could manage with the TDs who weren't in the group and such. But it has been agreed that the... Oh, hold on. Yeah, it has been agreed that he presides over the CC election. Now, I do have an idea of who will be put forward, but I'm not entirely sure exactly. I don't think we have access to that. I'll very quickly take a look. Yeah, I don't believe we have... I have access to that anyway. I believe he'll be reading out the candidates for CC, but no nominations have been received. Oh, Oscar's already raising. Saying he's nominated Leah to Maxi. We now have someone seconding the election, Leah for CC, so I believe the government is backing her. We've already got government TDs raising here. Oswald there saying that someone's nominated and that Eamon should just proceed. Oscar's saying there weren't any announcements regarding CC, so he did not submit it. The motion to change the presiding order was tabled, but they are moving on. And now the Taoiseach to nominate. So Oscar rising here, leader of the Social Democrats and leader of the largest party of the general election. Oh, I believe the nominations are going through. I believe that is Neve over there. I'm not entirely sure though. Oscar talking at the Times, being Lee Seen Commoner, well CC, and also being, I think, the Minister for, well, Minister for Foreign Affairs. I believe he's also talking about that. He finishes presiding officer. Leah is an excellent fit for CC. I did learn. I did try to learn it, but now I can't remember it. He continues. She's unbiased and open to constructive criticism, and he urges colleagues in the chamber to support Leah. There are no other candidates, I do believe, so the deputy for Shannon, aka Leah herself, rises to make a statement regarding the CC nomination, I believe. And she's already been hit with a wall of tags, unfortunately. She says that we're here to do a job, to serve the people of Ireland, and to get on with it. And that she is a candidate for CC, not just for the title, but for the responsibility, the trust, and the high expectations that come with it. She finishes, strong CCs have led from that chair, upholding the dignity and standards of the House. Now we need another, and she says that she will be another. That was Leah, the candidate for CC. I believe there will now be a vote held. The question is now asked that the deputy for Shannon do take the chair as CC, which is quite an important role within the Oireachtas, but especially within the Dáil, considering it is the chair of said chamber. The nomination is carried and she is appointed. We now have also congrats to Leah there. The next CC after Eamon McGrath there, and before him Krispy Kreme, who both took oaths that she is about to take. Well, I would assume they both took oaths. Here we have Maxi, Secretary General and former Taoiseach, reading out, as is normality for the Secretary General to read out the oath for the CC to take. Again, this is quite an important role, not only in the Dáil, because they also serve on the Presidential Commission after a president needs to be elected, which I believe Eamon served on for, and I believe appointed a government during his time. This is an oath that's very important because it upholds the fact that members of, well, the CC must remain bipartisan and ensure they are fair. Waiting for her to repeat after another thing he said. Again, here is the entire nomination, and the reading out is important. This one specifies the impartiality and fairness the CC must have. It is quite a lengthy oath to take, but again is very necessary for such a role, and is outlined in the Constitution. More here regarding the rights and upholding stability within the Dáil. Including the standing order and the Constitution. Again, this is a oath we've seen multiple people take. It's an ancient tradition we've seen since the first CC was elected on the 19th of July, 2020, I believe. I do have the spreadsheet up here, but I would assume this is an oath similar to the one they took, as to the one the new CC is taking now. I believe Eamon was one of the longest serving CCs He served from September 2024 to January 2025. So 4 months there. I feel like there might have been six though. But don't quote me on that, I'm not entirely sure. First, the new CC thanks those who have supported her, and probably in her nomination. I do wonder where her painting is going to go. Well, portrait, because there is not really much room. There is room back here, but I'm not sure if they're keeping this for some special reason. They may be keeping this wall blank as they may be the first CC of the chamber. We do see a few others, notably Lynette and Victoria. Victoria, who was one of the longest serving Cahirlocht. I believe. I don't quote me on this, but I believe she is the longest serving one, as she has served for over a year, which is a very incredible thing to do, to serve as Cahirlocht for entire year. Oh, I apologise. Eamon served until March. Just the spreadsheet hasn't been updated, so. But yes, we also see former President Lynette up here. I'm just going through history whilst I wait for the door to get themselves in order. And Killian Clark, our current president and former Taoiseach, 3 times over, I believe. And then Maxi, former leader of Labour Party. But we do now have the nomination for Oscar O'Sullivan, the leader of the Social Democrats and leader of the largest party within the door. Surprisingly enough, previous term we saw the Green Party, well, Fianna Fáil serve as Taoiseach whilst being the largest party. Well, no, serving as Taoiseach whilst being the largest party in the Dáil. However, we do finally find that Oscar is nominated, and the Deputy Albert will move the nomination. We have Victoria here, joined by Dave, another former Cahirloch, and I believe he's probably served as CC as well. I know it appears to me he hasn't. I know he's a former Cahirloch. You can tell I studied this sheet. He begins with a statement that he left the Dáil Éireann on the most serious business in 2022. He says, having served as Taoiseach previously and as President, I must acknowledge the challenges that the multiple governments have faced. And I am very slightly confused as to who this is. Oh, I didn't realise. This is Seaquatic or Kevin O'Neill. I cannot pronounce that for the life of me. But he's changed his display name, so it's very confusing to me. But yeah, this is quite an important figure in Ireland, and to be being nominated for the role of Taoiseach is very prestigious. To be nominated by a former president and former Taoiseach and former group owner, so he does have a lot behind him. He takes a jab at Valorist here, saying that he will do as well as his predecessors were. I believe he's saying this due to the fact that he has previously led the Social Democrats himself, and as Taoiseach twice of the Social Democrats, but he has not served. Yeah, he's only served as Taoiseach under the Social Democrats. Deputies are being asked to rise to debate. Nothing from the opposition, surprisingly. Not Leah nor the leader of the Green Party, Bo, there. And some other notable Taoiseachs have been leader of the Social Democrats. I think last time it was Valorist, but before that he came into power, it was No O'Cullen, which, I mean, personally I don't know them too much, but I might do, um, who was, funny enough, succeeded by Valorist under Sinn Féin in 2022, so over 2 years ago now. But yes, we've seen a lot of different Social Democrat leaders, especially in recent times. We had Valorist into Brian O'Kearney, into Eroku, or how you pronounce that, into Brian O'Kearney again, and now finally Oscar, all within the span of 6 months, I believe, from July to now. To January, I believe. That was when our current leader, Oscar, was made leader. And here we have the proposed Taoiseach speaking to the Taoiseach himself, I believe. Well, the nominee. He says he will sweep the bureaucrats out of the office. Again, apologies if I pronounced that wrong. Something that Oscar has brought up quite a lot in his campaign, actually. Wanting to remove the departments such as the interior. It's just been pointed out to me by Kamala in general chat, that there are not really any women sitting on the government bench. Whilst the opposition is ruled by more females than men. Well, women. Hold on, I do actually want to quickly check. I'm not actually sure if we did have Leah very, very temporarily. But yeah, I look on the sheet and there don't seem to be any women for the Social Democrats. We have Leah as CC, who used to be a member until not just long ago, I think like 5-10 minutes ago now, where she was elected CC. The deputy has been asked to withdraw or rephrase, which was brought up by the leader of the Social Democrats, who said that they were calling the opposite bench liars. And they seem to be staging a protest now. Oh, never mind, they have withdrawn. This does seem to bring out quite a lot of the important figures in Ireland, I'd say. We have Group Staff David there. We also have Corbyn, the first. I want to say first lady, but I'm not sure about you. I don't think they look much like a lady there. Um, we now have the Deputy Noah speaking, a prominent figure for the Social Democrats who also spoke at one of their rallies. Noah says that Oscar is the most qualified and competent Taoiseach to be elected to the chamber office, I meant, and he is proud to be part of this government that will work for the Irish people. The deputy says that last time there were a bunch of self-serving politicians in their government, or in our government, according to them. And he says that the government will this government will flip the table and make it all about the people and not the select few. Don't know why they're calling members in the door weirdos, but he says that they have received heckles. That's only because they do not like them. I do not believe there are any other. Oh no, there are two debates again from the government. Oh, a point of order has been raised. By the deputy for Dublin North, who I've just realised shares Dublin North with Oscar Sullivan. He says that the Oscar is the most notable TD who is willing to sacrifice himself for the people. And Noah quickly says that he will be quick because he. How we try and see. Noah's pointed out that certain members of the opposition have been constantly talking over them whilst they've been speaking. Mainly directed at the Green Party leader, the TD for Dublin North. I'd say quite insulting to also hold the same county, the same area as the current Taoiseach. He continues on. He says that he, with the people, trust Oscar to lead the country into greatness. There are now more members rising to debate. A point of order has been raised. Again. Oh, flip. The bongos in the door quite crazy. I don't know why we keep getting them. I mean, more importantly, who is funding them? CC asks for any other debate. And there is no one rising. The opposition has been asked. I'm just going to get rid of that timer quickly. And Oscar's asking to close. And finally, Oscar, the nominee for Taoiseach and leader of the largest party. First, he congratulates the CC on her election. He now speaks directly to the deputies of the Dáil. I mean, this Oireachtas has quite a few, yeah, there have been quite a few people in high roles this election. We had two former Taoiseachs serving as TDs. This is Michael McGrath and Cayman O'Neill. Again, I cannot pronounce it, I'll just say Seaquatic. You also have two former Taoiseachs serving in the Oireachtas. I cannot pronounce their name. Donat the McGrath in the Shannon and Safarine in the Dáil. That is the leader of the Green Party. And we also have three former leaders of the opposition as members of the Oireachtas, with Oscar serving as the 53rd under the Social Democrats. Again, I cannot pronounce his name, but one of the McGraths, the 27th under Sinn Féin, and Michael McGrath, who served quite a few as both Social Democrats and Sinn Féin. But overall, this was provided to me by Eamon. But overall, yeah, this was provided by, well, no, it was provided by Eamon, but yeah, there are quite a few people with previous roles within the Oireachtas here. I would say, whilst he isn't present right now, we did have C, who was probably one of the most experienced individuals in the Dáil just a moment ago. But Oscar is quite experienced in himself. If we just go off some of the roles he's had, whether he is actually experienced is up to viewer interpretation. But he has served as former leader of the opposition. He served as group staff for quite a while, Secretary General to the UN, to the President, and to the Dáil, I'm pretty sure. Well, to the Oireachtas entirely. And that he also, I think, I'm trying to... I believe he's also worked in the civil service, but I cannot guarantee that. But yeah, just a few of the accomplishments our, I think, soon-to-be Taoiseach has had. Obviously, we have to see if he is actually elected. I have to note that there is a very likely chance he is accepted. I do say it just because there is a very, very slim chance he doesn't get elected. But I will clarify, there is not a chance in this world he doesn't get elected due to the fact that I cannot name a specific time, but I don't think we've ever had... I've never personally seen the expected Taoiseach to fail a nomination. They are now asking if the chamber adjourns to vote via proxy, which is a very common thing to do, where they will leave the Dáil and then vote on the Oireachtas server. Hopefully RTE will get the results of that up shortly. We are now about to adjourn. Uh, 40 minutes into the session. I think Taoiseach nominations and CC nomination took a while, but it is now agreed the session is adjourned and that voting information will be posted in the server. So, we've just seen our Taoiseach and the nomination for Taoiseach just be said there. We had Leah, who was elected as CC, and we can expect later tonight that Oscar Sullivan, the leader of the Social Democrats and the largest party with the coalition of Fine Gael led by Oswald and expected to be Taoiseach, become the new trying to think here, leaders of our nation. But yeah, that is the Taoiseach nominations on the 19th of March 2025. I thank you all for tuning in, and I will hopefully see you on Friday and Saturday. I may be unable to stream the Shannon just for that day, as I think you'll find out in the coming days. However, again, thank you so much. Have a wonderful night, and again, I will see you on Friday and Saturday. Goodbye.